Cine Magazine, insuperable.
Continuemos con esta cinta que nos muestra la vida de un músico de folk de los años 60 que debe afrontar día a día las adversidades que conlleva una carrera musical. En el making of de Cine Magazine están los directores y el elenco de Balada de un Hombre Común.
If I had wings like Noah's dove, I'd fly.
I have an affection for traditional American music in general, and that's the music that preceded the folk revival and the music that followed the period that we made this specific movie about. So there's all that. But there was also a point in which I think we were just kicking around ideas, and we thought, wouldn't it be interesting to start a movie with a folk singer?
First of all, when I read the script, the writing's so amazing that it's all, usually you get something in you, and a lot of times you say, well, when we get on set, we'll probably trim the fat off, but there's no fat to trim. It's all literally, it's like a novel.
I remember one evening in the pouring rain.
I think when I read the script, I hadn't come across the character. I said this to Joel the other day, I hadn't played or read a character where I had more than 2 lines of dialogue strung together. So that was kind of new. We had this whole scene in Washington Square Park where I was ranting away and it was this whole paragraph, and I thought, I can't remember the last time I had more than a couple of lines, and then like tears and crying and kissing or something. She's just, she's sort of the anti to every character I've played over the last couple of years, and so I just loved how witty she was and how unkind she was and brutal, and the writing was so brilliant.
In my heart was an aching pain. Oh, fare thee well.
Yeah, we had an interesting casting challenge in that it was a movie written about one character, the fictional character, the centerpiece of the movie, who's in every scene, every frame of the movie. But we also knew that we wanted to see him perform. He's a musician. We wanted it to be about that, the movie to be about that, performance, about an artist. We just met Oscar, at the point where we were kind of despairing, because that's a hard thing to find, even in isolation, those two things, an actor that you like for the part and a musician that you find compelling. And we were starting to think, well, that person might not exist, the one person, the performer who can give us both of those things. And we just met, as you do, actors in auditioning, in the audition process, and Oscar walked in the door and we just kind of heaved a sigh of relief and thought, okay, there you go.
That's the thing. Whenever I knew I was doing good, or when a scene went well, is when I would see them, Joel and Ethan, laughing the most. And the times they would laugh the most is whenever I would forget that it was a comedy and just treated it as tragedy. Whenever I was in the most internal pain in any given scene is when they would laugh the most. And I think that's because, but it's not a laughter of like, ha-ha. It's the laughter of recognition and of like, that's true. That's, we laugh because it's awful, and that's how life feels, often. But out of that comes a joy. It's not a cynical view of life,
My honey, fare thee well.
When you talk about being in a Coen Brothers movie, you don't even think, I'd be lying if I said it was a dream of mine, because I think you tend to dream in some sort of reality where you think that was possible. So I was very flattered.
The opportunity to work in a Coen Brothers film, comes along once, or 5 times if you're John Goodman, but once if you're just a regular, normal, lucky person. So I just wanted to be in one of their visions, and I didn't really study what it was going to be, and I can't really imagine it, and I never watch the monitor, and I want to be sort of surprised, but it's the coolest job I've ever had.
My honey, fare thee well.
Cine Magazine, insuperable.